Hello and welcome to the 20 into 30 podcast with myself, Evelina, and my UK friend, Luke Bradley. How are you doing, Luke?
Morning, Evelina. How are we today?
We are very well, thank you. It's a bit gloomy outside, but if you've been living in 35 degrees for 2 months, you are embracing it.
I was going to say you've got a bit of colour, actually.
Thank you. You never said it to me ever in my life.
Well, you have been living in Malaga for a while now, so it's kind of... if it's not been said yet, then you're never going to get any colour.
Yeah, it would be sad if I didn't have any, right?
What you guys are missing out on, though, is I'm looking at Evelina now because we do the calls with a picture, and Evelina had this unique ear setup thing going on to keep... We are still working on improving the sound, and that means that Evelina has some weird, unique ear tying up thing going on, which I'm sure she could put a post up about to show you guys what we look like at some point. But that's quite impressive what you had going on there. I'm surprised your ear didn't lose circulation.
I feel like I'm very, how can you say it? I'm very, help me find a word.
I'm just going to leave you hanging. Just going to leave you hanging there.
Yeah, let's just leave
she's
it.
going
I don't know
redder
what I
than
was
she
looking
was.
for.
You're a lot redder than when we started.
Thank you.
So
that was not a compliment.
I'm going to leave you to tell people what we're talking about today.
Yes, we're going to speak about friendship, actually. And I know both Luke and I are very... We believe in the saying that you are 1 out of 5 people you hang out with. And going from 20 to 30, you see quite a big change in your friends and the ones that you keep close to you. When you're younger, you're just either you just want to be cool, you just want to be part of it. And then when you're getting older, you're getting a little bit more selective with your friends and who you bring into your life.
So we're going to take a bit of a closer look at the transitions in that and how we have differed in that. So me and Evelina are obviously constantly trying to work on improving our podcast, and we know that we've got a lot to do that. And one of our things is we're going to be more laser focused on smaller topics rather than such broad things. So we're hopefully going to bring you a bit more knowledge in more selective areas, aren't we, rather than across the board. So today is working on a very fine line of what changed between the friends that we looked for in our 20s to what we look for now in our 30s. Would that be correct, Evelina?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, your friends change a lot because obviously you're moving around all the time.
Yeah, I think traveling has given me a great experience of who I keep close to me, because when you're traveling, you meet so many people. You're constantly in hostels and out and about with other backpackers or travelers, and you're very social. But the people that you meet, if you don't click, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be friends. You don't have to exchange Facebook or Instagram or other social media handles. But when you are younger, when you're living in a small town like myself, I'm from a small town in Sweden, you kind of stick with the friends you got. And that's one of the biggest changes I've done, I think.
Well, I guess with traveling, it's a great way that if you're not... little side note quickly. We are coming back to our laser point. The video finally uploaded, Evelina. Me and Evelina were having some issues with our uploads. It's just come through saying it's uploaded, so we're good to go, Evelina. No, so I guess with traveling, it's good in the way that you can literally be like, okay, this person's not good for me, and you could like flush out. Is that a bad word? Flush out the people that you don't want around you a lot easier than you can if you're in one local place and you're sort of bumping into them all the time. And but I think it's very different, isn't it, from when we were 20? Because I know when I was 20, I was more focused on early 20s anyway, just going out having fun, who wanted to come out and party, who wanted to go out and have a good time, go and do things, go places, etc. But obviously now, I do go out and party, but I'm not interested in that so much. I'm more interested in people around me who are focused on their fitness goals, their business goals, and then I've got like, I'd say 3 types of friends. So I've got like my friends that I'd go to for fitness, and we all push each other in fitness. That includes yourself, my friend Martin, my friend Michael. What was that piece for?
I feel honored to be in that group.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so like yourself, my friend Michael, my friend Martin, they all really push me in the gym. They keep me really motivated. Then I've got my business friends, like I've got my friend Sam, I've got my friend Sean, who's starting a new business. Again, Martin is in the process of starting a new business. My friend Chaz, he's got his own business. So I've got people with their own businesses as well. My friend Ozzy, they keep me then focused in business, and we've got banter and rivalry with each other, like we joke around and stuff like that, but it's all to motivate each other. And then I've got my friendship group who I can just really hang with, but they're not like a drain on your energy. What I mean by that is they always want to go somewhere, they want to do something, they're up for things, rather than being like, let's just sit and do nothing together. Which is nice at times, but at the same time, like, you're going to have plenty of time to do that when you've got arthritis.
100%. Would you say that we are better at selecting our friends as we get older because we get to know our interests more?
I think obviously you change when you get older, and what you like changes. But I think, yeah, you just know yourself more. You know yourself more. You know what you're willing to put up with. You know what you're not willing to put up with. Everyone's probably had those friends that you go out with and it's constant drama every time you go out with them. It's just unnecessary. When I go out with my friends, we never really have drama, ever. I can't remember when there's ever been drama in at least the last 7 years, right? We never get into any arguments with anyone. We're always having a laugh and stuff with people we meet, and we get talking to other people. And everyone knows that probably one group of friends who would always go out and you'd see them having drama all the time. So I think you just decide what you'll tolerate, what you won't tolerate, and your group becomes smaller and more selective and focused to where you're looking to go and who you're looking to be. Because look, at the end of the day, with me and you, if we're working on our businesses, which we are, and we're still, even though you're 4 years in, I'm 6 years in, we're still early days of a business, really, and there's still a lot more to have to be put into it, still a lot more growth to come. So we can't be out partying every weekend.
No, and we need friends that support us in that.
Yeah.
I have a few friends, or a couple of friends, that I feel like is not supporting me in that. I feel like always getting
Do you want me to call
guilt tripped.
Do you want me to call Martin and call him out on it?
No, Martin is cool.
Carry on, sorry.
No, but I'm getting guilt tripped every time that I'm saying that, oh, I can't meet you up this Saturday because I have this business thing going on. And they're like, no, but why? They don't get it. They don't understand it. Friends that doesn't understand your interest or your hobbies or what you value in life and just give you that space, I have no time for you, basically. It's just bringing you negative energy, and friends should support each other in this journey, whatever journey it is on. And don't be like, I think what I want to say with this, don't be an energy vampire. That's the best phrase I know.
I find sometimes though, like with that energy, and he said it your way then, with someone who takes your energy as a vampire, I find it's the people who have the least energy that are just draining it from you. You're like, because I love people who are really energetic. So if I'm feeling a little bit tired in myself, I just feeding off them. Like their energy is fueling me. Like I've had it before where I finish work and I get to the gym and I'm like exhausted, and I'll see Michael or Martin and they do their first set and they're smashing it, and I'm just instantly fired up. I'm ready to go because I'm just like feeding off of them. Even though beforehand I was like on a 5% battery, I've all of a sudden gone up to like a 90% battery just because I'm feeding off them. So if someone, like you say, is taking that energy from you, well, there's not much to take on those days you're tired. So make sure you have people around you ready with a charger to give you some of their energy. That's what I think.
Yeah. And then you also need to understand that everyone has good or bad days, of course. But if you're always hanging out with friends, like, let's be serious. We all have that one or two friends that every time we meet them or hang out with them, we just feel like, nah, afterwards. You know what I mean?
Tired,
they're just draining your energy and just guilt tripping you, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna avoid your calls now for the next week or two, just so I can get myself back on my feet.
I'm quite lucky. I don't have. I don't have. Where you say a lot. So my pool of friends now are very good. Like I don't find that people that I talk to regularly are tiring on my energy. Like I'm very lucky. I have like I say, I have like I would class it as like three groups of friends, like my fitness, my business, and like my friends that I'd hang out with. Um, and I find that all of them will provide me with energy.
That's amazing. That's what you want, isn't it?
Even some people who are right at the start of their business, right, and it's so tough for them at the moment because it's like it takes so long, as we spoke in the last podcast. Could take sort of, you've got to look at a 3-year minimum, and really they're they're in the position to be like, I'm not making enough money, I'm not getting enough business, my business isn't where I thought it would be, and so they are really in the prime position to be someone who could take your energy because they just feel fatigued and they feel a bit fed up. And I've got people like that around me that I ring them and I'm like, man, they've fueled me up. They fuel me up. They're excited, they're passionate, and that's the difference, isn't it? You just got to make sure you keep those selective people around. But again, I think the friends that you say might have been like that when you were in your 20s doesn't mean like they're like that anymore. But just at that time point that you were together, what life you had together worked. You went out partying, you had fun, you had a great time together, you partied together, you enjoyed that time. But you both maybe transitioned into your next stage at a different point, and that's where maybe your paths separated. Not for any bad reason. You had a great time, but just you were going at different speeds to different locations.
Exactly, because we have obviously in our 30s, the difference between now and when we were in our 20s or early 20s, a teenager, now there are a lot of our friends that have family and kids, and obviously you can't expect them to be on the same level as you, and they don't have the time to give to you because they have a family now. And then you have friends like yourself who's building a business, and you need to respect them. And then you still have friends that just want to live life and travel, party, whatever. And everyone is on their own journey at the end, and you just need to think about what kind of friends do I want in my journey right now. And if you have to let go of someone, don't feel bad about it. I'm a true believer that people are not meant to stay in your life forever. Like something is gonna take you apart in the end, whatever it is, moving away or an argument or just different parts of life, or sadly if it's gonna be death in the end. So whoever's in your life right now, look at them as, why are they in your life right now? Is there a lesson to learn? Is there something they need to learn from you? Are you there to bounce off each other? And the ones that have moved on and the ones that no longer in your circle, don't feel bad about it, because your time will probably up, and you just have to embrace what you had instead.
Lessons will be learned from everything.
Exactly.
Whether that's the type of person you want around, or that's the type of person you don't want around. But I don't know about you, but I did think when I used to flog this. So when I was probably like 25 onwards, no, like 20 to 25, probably more so. I was more in this mind frame when I was 25. Was if I knew people who weren't that motivated in the way that I saw things, i.e., looking after your health, looking to improve on work or business, or your work career within the industry you're in, or come out and do things, I always used to think that as long as you provided them with motivation and kept on top of them and rang them up and said, "Are you doing this? Are you getting that done?" Like they asked me to, that in time they would become very motivated as well. However, my friend Martin used to tell me all the time, some people you can't motivate. And I always used to be like, yeah, if I keep on them, and I think we'll be able to, they'll get the results and they'll keep them going. And actually, what I realized was Martin was right. Some people you can't motivate.
No, and the thing is, you can't motivate anyone. Motivation comes from within. Inspiration comes from without.
Yeah, maybe I was wrong on that too then. But I thought if I was on someone and, like, I thought what I thought was being supportive, like by calling them up saying, "Are you doing this? Like, should we go and train together? Should we go and do this together?" I thought in time that would get the ball rolling, but then I found out it didn't.
You were pouring so much into other people. Like you were really pushing people, even though you kind of know some of them was just a dead end.
Well, the problem is, I know that I can be really pushy. Like
but it's coming from a good place.
Yeah, if someone asks me, like I always say to people, warning: if you ask me to be on you to motivate you, or like to keep on you to get your goals, it comes with a warning that when I say I'm going to do that, I'm going to be on you. I will be on you.
I experienced that firsthand. But I would never ever ask this because we were almost falling out so many times because of this.
I'm intense about it. It's true. I'm intense about it, right?
Intense is no, intense is not the right word. We need a more hyped word.
I'm on it. But I always say, like, I'll be
full on.
I'll be full on, 100%. I'll be on you and full all over you. But it's no different to how I am with myself.
Yeah, you're quite rude when you get into that.
I treat myself the same. I'm just as brutal and as harsh on myself. Like if I'm sitting on the sofa and I need to go do a job or I need to go to the gym, I'm like, get the fuck up, you lazy prick. That's what I say to myself. I'm like, what are you doing? Get up. Stop being a lazy ass. If I'm in the gym and I can't lift the weight, I'm like, why are you being such a loser? Pick the fucking weight up. You know, that's what I do to myself. It's in my head.
You do the same to be at the gym as well.
Yeah, I'm psyching myself up. That's what I'm like. And if you like that, then you'd love me. But if you don't and you just want a little push, I'm not your guy. How do you motivate your friends then? We're saying like, obviously, that we look for people to be around us to motivate us in certain ways. And that might be selfish because some people might think, well, we should just have friends around you to be your friends. But I do feel that everyone looks for a certain something in someone. How do you find that you would try to motivate someone? Have you had it, like I'm saying, where someone will ask you, please be on me? How would you go about it?
Well, I think people are not really turning to me and asking me to be on them. I think I'm just trying to live the best life that I can in hope that I inspire others to do the same. So I think with my friends, I'm just constantly being consistent with my health, with my energy, with the way I eat, the way I sleep, and so on. And for me to push and become a better person. And I think I'm just sending out that energy that I'm hoping I'm sending out that energy for other people to be their best version of themselves when they're around me. So I'm not on people, but I'm more the ones that a little bit to the side. I do my own thing. And then friends coming up to me is like, hey, I have this thing. Could you help me out? I think I'm more the person that you will come to and have a deep conversation with when you're ready to speak about it. I'm going to be here for you 100%.
Whereas I'm pretty like, if someone's like, oh, I'm thinking of going to gym, I'll be like, boom, let's do it. Let's get on it. Let's do it. And I'm sort of more full on about it. Or like I'm looking to start my own business. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's talk about it. What do you want to talk? What do you think you're doing? Like I'm more like intense.
But I'm more feminine energy, obviously, and you're more masculine, so you're quite full on.
It's different. But at the same time, like I say, you can have those people around you to motivate you. I also have people around me just to like who just put me in a nice, relaxed, chill mood. Like my thing at the moment is if I'm like getting worked up with work, like because say you're like, you know, we spoke about it at last episode, COVID, like it ran the business down, right? We're working our way back up. That's a huge thing when you spent 6 years building something up. And then the gym was shut. Now I hadn't not gone to the gym since I was 13 years old, right? For at least like anything more than a week was silly because I was on holiday, right? So all these things would essentially have put me in a really negative energy, right? But I was actually really, really content because I had people around me who just mellowed me out and made me chill. You know, Martin is great for that. Like I always say, like at the moment I have this thing where I'll be like, what would Martin do? That's what I say to myself. If I feel like I'm working myself up, I'll be like, what would Martin do? Because he's so chill and so mellow. I'll be like, what would Martin do? But and I tell him this
in a positive way.
Yeah, and I'm just like, and so things like that. I do think, like I say, you have your 3 categories of friends. your fitness, your business, and your sort of your health. I.e. relaxation and stuff like that. And mine pretty much covers all of those bases. You cover all those bases. But then, like I say, you've got to pick your groups. But we're speaking about what we like in positivity in our friends and what we try to offer back. What would you not look for in friends these days?
What would I look? I've been on a journey for quite some time now when I'm trying to just expand myself and become a better person and be the best person I can be. So my friends are challenge me in those areas. So I'm looking for people who can have those really deep conversation and really support each other. Those friends that you can call up and be like, I feel like just quitting my business, or I feel like escaping to a different part of the world now. Then we'd be like, okay, let's sit and talk about this. Friends that you can just pour your heart out to, and they can do the same to you, and it's just deep soulful connections. That's what I'm really looking for right now. But also the ones that can do it with a little bit of a glint in the eye. So someone that's have a very light approach to life and just open-minded.
I feel like I'm getting that more lighter approach to life since I turned 30. I don't know why. I generally do. Also, I tried CBD oil, which we'll talk about on another podcast, which, oh my God, I love the stuff. I love that stuff.
That's why you're so chilled today,
I'm so
even
chilled.
though you had tea.
I'm so chilled. I literally, we're going to talk about another podcast. We're going to go into it, how I got into it and stuff. But yeah, I think we're turning 30. Probably going back to where again, another podcast where we spoke about, check it out, guys. It's where we thought we'd be when we were 30. We spoke about all the things that we thought we'd have and where we are, blah, blah, blah. I think maybe when I turned 30, I actually realised that maybe I don't have loads of money in the bank and stuff like that, but actually I am just pretty content in what I've got. Like, I've got a roof over my head, I've got good friends, I've got my fitness and my health, my business, I've got food in the cupboard. And I think that turning 30 and then the group of friends that I had around me just mellowed me. It was like a stark difference. And I think it's just where you get that platform of what you know is good for you around you. That's not going to set you off,
Yeah, I love
sense?
my friend group. Sad thing is that I think you have the same issue as me here. Being a traveler, you have friends all over the world, and it's great because when I go somewhere, there's a high chance that I will meet someone. But also, you have friends that you're like, oh, I really miss this person, and you can't see each other because you are a world apart. Like one of my best friends, soul sisters, as I call her, she lives in Australia. So, but it's the good thing. If you have a really solid friendship, if you're really connected, then distance really doesn't really matter. And even if you have a friends that you live nearby, you don't have to call them every day. But when you talk, it's like you talked yesterday.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. And I think nowadays with the internet, it's so much easier just to stay in contact with people. Like people said to me when I was in Australia as well, did it feel like you weren't, close to your friends and your family? I probably spoke to my friends and family more when I was in Australia than when I am in the UK. And that's a fact.
Yeah.
Because people are like, what you're doing, what you're up to. And they're wondering what you're doing, and they're trying to stay connected with you. And with the internet now, Skype and things like that, it's so much easier. So you can have those friendships that far away. I don't think you need to have someone on your doorstep who motivates you or grounds you or makes you look to be progressive.
100%. But if you take the question back to you, then what do you value in friendship right now? What do you look for?
It's a number of things. I love driven people. I love people who are driven and determined. And I really do now, which I probably, if you'd asked me at 25, I probably wouldn't have said I like people around me who calm me as well. But that's I've realised that when I did mellow out, it's so much more nice and chilled, and you enjoy things more when you're just calmer in your approach to things. Like, it's more enjoyable. Rather than maybe being where I was younger, a bit more fiery.
Yeah,
so
you definitely were.
People who are driven and looking to improve themselves, but bring people along with them on that journey, but also people who will calm me and make me feel like, this is cool, man. We don't need to get worked up about silly little things, So,
Support your friends.
like, I've got a friend, Ozzy, and she's got her own business, and it got absolutely trashed. She had a great business, right? It got absolutely trashed by COVID, right? And so she had to close the business, right? She lost the business. She had the business for over 6 years, and it was a good, profitable business. She had staff. She was doing really well. We speak about business a lot, and it's one of those things that it was the worst thing that can happen to her business. But if you speak to her, she's always like bubbly and laughy, and she just doesn't care. Like, she's just like, I'm always like, if that was me, like 3 years ago, I'd be going nuts. I'd be going absolutely mad. I'd be grumpy and angry about everything. And she's just like, oh, well, it is what it is. And like yesterday, she told me about how she took a corner too tight and scraped her car. And that with me would have wound me up, right? Hopefully not now, because I think I'd be like, oh, it is what it is. It is what it is. But her, she's like, oh, laughing around. And I joked to her, I was like, are you going out to hit anything today? Like, and she's just like, oh, shut up. So she's just, like, some people are just super chill and calm and just taking things
just a light approach to life, basically.
But at the same time, motivated. You don't want to be so chill that you don't do nothing. Personally, for me, I don't. You don't want to be too chill that nothing's a goal, nothing's getting done.
I heard this really great saying that I've been living by for a few years now. When it comes to the friends that you have around you, you should have 1/3 part of your friend group should be people that is one chapter behind you, so they can learn something from you and you can give them knowledge. 1/3 of your friend group should be in the same chapter as you, so you can bounce off each other and learn from each other and support each other and understand where you are in this journey. And the last third should be people that are one chapter before you, so you have something to learn from, and people that can be mentoring you and that you can just shadow and know how to get into that next stage of your life.
Yeah, I like that. Saying that, I didn't actually think about it. So I have like friends that are say in their mid-20s, and then I have friends that are well into their 40s, which is nice. And some of them have their own business, some of them don't. Actually, majority of them have their own business in their 40s. But yeah, no, that's and hopefully, I do hope, and even if it is in a pushy way, that I do somewhat provide people with some help if they want it. Even if afterwards they're like, oh God, why did I ask Luke for some pushing?
Been there, done that.
Oh, why did I ask Luke to push me? That was not the right thing to do.
Never again.
Oh, it's funny. You gotta laugh. But I think we've covered that quite well. I think we've covered what we like, what we don't like, what we look for, how things have changed. Did we have any questions come in this week? Or any more comments, wasn't it? What people were looking for?
Yeah, so the question that I popped out on Instagram earlier this week was, what's important to you when it comes to friendship? So the first comment we got was from Strato Music, and he was saying support and laughter, of course. So, I think that's quite straightforward.
I'd agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
I think we discussed that today as well.
Yeah, then we also got my girlfriend Santa, Santa's Beauty on Instagram. She was commenting loyalty, strength, and present.
Yeah, that's good. I think these are all great points and points that we've touched on. So I think maybe it's good to see that we're not just looking for too much. People agree with us.
People are so simple in the end. Yeah. And my little sister also, before we jump on this call, I asked her the same question, and she said loyalty is the only thing you need in the end.
Yeah. Loyalty can even be that, like we said, if they're on the other side of the world, that they just are there to talk to you. Someone doesn't have to be right there to be loyal to you. But I always hate it when, you've got people who are best friends and they trash each other behind each other's back. Like, it's like, what?
No. Why? That's just high school for me. Yeah, and
I don't get it.
Ever since high school, I are just not hanging out. If anyone is going to be slightly like that, like girls stabbing each other's backs and stuff, ain't have no time for you in my life. Like you can go.
But that's
Bye.
the unnecessary drama,
Adios.
isn't it, that we spoke about? It's the unnecessary drama.
Yeah.
I always want someone. Look, I'm very much with my friendship group that I'll call you out if I think you should be pushing yourself more or whatever, right? I'll do that. But I expect the same back. But that won't be achieved by you going and saying it to someone and not saying it to me. Because I know for a fact I can be a dick at times. And I want you to I want people around me who are going to call me out on it. If I do something wrong, or I'm being a hypocrite, then call me out on it. Because I'm not going to learn otherwise. I'm not going to be able to. And sometimes I'll look at that and I'll go, okay, I don't really agree, but I appreciate your view on it, and I can see it from your point. And then other times I'll be like, oh, actually, no, yeah, you're right. I'm being a bit off. I've called that wrong.
Would you say that with you and I'm telling you off when you're being too arrogant and too rude, and you're calling me off every time I'm slacking?
So the thing is with the arrogant thing, me and Martin do it all the time because we find it funny. We do it with each other all the time. Like, a funny story about Martin, right? And he'll hate me for telling you this. Like, so we always do this arrogant thing, like joking around. But the problem is when people don't know us, they sometimes think that we're just generally really arrogant. But once we were at a wedding, right? And Martin was looking very dashing in his suit and stuff, and he was getting a bit of attention from some women, right? Now, as I walk into the bathroom, I catch Martin in the mirror. Now, he didn't see me because the way the door opened, it sort of covered me, so he didn't know I was coming in. And as I walked into the bathroom, all I heard was, "I'm tired of my goddamn pretty looks getting me in trouble all the time," right? As I walk round the door, I see Martin looking at himself in the mirror, sorting out his suit. So I was just like, Martin, did I just catch you saying that you're tired of your goddamn pretty looks getting you in trouble all the time? And he's like, oh no, man, I'm joking. I was like, Martin, there was no one in here. You were in here on your own, looking at yourself in the mirror, saying you're tired of your pretty goddamn looks getting you in trouble. But no, we do it, joking aside, we do it as banter. But obviously, if people don't know us, we do generally probably come across arrogant. But it is what it is. But that's the funniest story I've caught Martin telling himself he was pretty in the mirror.
That is hilarious. Don't you think also that we have, except those groups that you said you have your friends in earlier, wouldn't you say that you have those friends as well where you kind of step into a different version of you in a positive way? Like, we all have that one friend that we can't really hang out with without you being day drunk and going crazy. And we all have that one friend that you just can't hang out with without having a discussion about life and space and everything.
Yeah,
like, we have those friends that pulling us out, some part of us, and just hype it.
I love that. Like, me, Martin, and my friend H will we'll sit there and we'll like watch a movie, and then we'll be talking about space and life and and some people you just can't talk about that stuff with. They're just like, oh yeah, okay, and then the conversation dies out. And some people will also entertain it, not because we know a load of stuff about it, just because it's interesting to play with the idea of it. Like, it doesn't mean we know the ins and the outs. It's just fun to throw the topic around. And some people you can get in depth with that, and some people can't. So yeah, I'd agree with that. However, that leads us on to one of my facts that I have for you today. But it is more of a quiz. It's more of a quiz for you, okay?
Okay, challenge me. Come on.
So, how long? So it's to do with space. This is how long you'd survive. This article is on Google, and it says how long you'd survive on every planet without a spacesuit. Okay, so out of our solar system, which planet do you think you'll last longest on without a spacesuit?
Is Earth included?
No, we're not going to include. Well, they've got Earth here. They've got 80 years. So anyone over 80 is apparently defying odds. But Earth's got a 80 on it. So 80 years for Earth. After that, which is the longest? But I'm going to give you another more clue. Which two planets would you last on longest without a spacesuit? Yeah, without a spacesuit.
This is really tough because I don't know the planet in English.
Okay, so you've got Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and Mercury.
I'm gonna say Venus.
Venus is wrong. So you'd last less than a second on Venus. The right answer is Mars. You'd last up to 2 minutes. And on Mercury as well, you'd last up to 2 minutes. They've also got that you'd last on the sun for less than a second, but I don't even think you'd get anywhere near the sun to last a second on it.
No, I think this question is a little bit, what do you define as being on the sun?
Yeah.
Because can you really be on it? Because then you're just gonna
get, you're not even gonna get near it, are you?
Melted. No. Okay, I got a fact for you as well.
Hit me up.
So this is gonna be more, Luke is in charge for the universe. I'm bringing the health facts to y'all. If you look at your thumb, did you know, and this is actually going to bring in the topic of friendship. We have microbiome on everywhere in our body. Our bodies are host for microbiome. So there's living organism on your body and inside your body. And on your thumb, you have more microbiome than the population of London.
Really?
Yeah. And bringing into your fact, you have more microbiome on your whole body and inside your body 10 times more than the stars in our galaxy.
So should I start sucking my thumb? Is that what you're saying?
No, they live there.
Oh, they just live there?
They just live there. Just let them be. Them helping you out, they're being your friends.
I should probably start charging them rent as the business is quiet. But
they do. They help you provide you with the vitamin K, digest your food. They're doing their part, trust me.
They're doing their bit. Well, look, I just want to, before we finish, I want to give a shout out to Martin again. He smashed it this week. He's doing really well with his fitness. And I also want to shout out my friend Ozzy for literally just not getting affected by absolutely anything. She's just so chill and relaxed about things. So yeah, I respect that.
Well done to you both.
But guys, you know where you can find us every Monday on YouTube. We will upload our next episode of the 20 into 30 podcast. You can also find us on our Instagram pages.
It's 20 into 30 podcast and same on Facebook.
And guys, we hope you enjoyed today's show. Have a lovely week and we will see you next Monday.
Bye.